Namaste. Welcome to another episode of My India, My Pride series. In the last video, we learnt about Raja Rama, Sita Mata and Ramayana in brief. Today, let us learn about his children Lava and Kusha and other kings in this dynasty. After the Pattabhishekam, Rama and Sita started ruling Ayodhya. All the people were very happy and the land was prosperous. This time is called Ramarajya. People of Ayodhya were living happily under the rule of Lord Rama. The custom in Vedic civilization is that the king would have a vast espionage system in place to understand what was happening both inside and outside his kingdom. Lord Rama followed this practice and had his 6 main spies go out and listen to what the citizens of Ayodhya said about their king. 5 of the spies heard the citizens glorifying Lord Rama with great love and affection. But the 6th spy, going to the quarters of the artisans, overheard the following conversation of a washerman. The washerman's wife had to stay at somebody else's house overnight due to some reason, and she returned home next day. The washerman was very upset and angry. He kicked his wife who had stayed at another man's house and despised her. He said, "From my house go to the house where you stayed for a day. I shall not accept you who violated my commands." His mother told him, "Do not abandon her. She has come back to our house. She has not committed any fault, and she is free from bad acts." But the angry washerman said to his mother, "I am not as great as Rama as to accept my wife who stayed in another's house. Whatever the king does might be lawful. I will not accept my wife who has stayed in another's house." He again and again said these words. "I am not King Rama who protected Sita who had stayed at Lanka under Ravana's protection." The spy was very angry to hear such defamatory words about Rama and Sita. All the spies agreed that this negative report should not be given to Lord Rama. But in the morning, when they met Rama realized that the spy was hiding something. After repeated commands from Rama, he very reluctantly retold what he had heard. Rama was devastated. Lord Rama was very upset from that moment, but did not let anyone know the reason of his sadness. When Sita observed the sadness in his eyes, she asked him. He said nothing. Then she asked the informants about it and came to know about the rumors. She was very sad, but she handled herself and approached Lord Rama and said, "Arya, this is not the time to get lost in sadness. Be strong. You are not just a husband. You are a king. Kings have no personal happiness. I don't want you to disrespect the glory of ancestors just because of a woman like me. I will go away from the kingdom to forest to stay away from your life." Lord Rama didn't want her to go, but was not able to stop her. The glory of Rama is that he was a god who willingly suffered the pains of separation throughout his life from his one true love, but never deviated from the path of Dharma. For some people, the episode of Rama exiling Sita to the forest while she was 5 months pregnant is one of the most disturbing events in Ramayana. It seriously tests their faith, leading some to even offend Lord Rama. The lesser known truth about the exile of Sita is not known to many people, although the story is mentioned in the scriptures. The reason that Rama had to be separated from Sita was to fulfill a curse that was given to Vishnu by sage Bhrigu, who was angry because Vishnu had severed the head of Bhrigu's wife to save Indra's life during the fight between gods and demons. There is also another story related to Sita being sent on exile due to the curse by Shukha birds. Let us listen to both the stories. The Matsya Purana tells us a story about the everlasting wars between Devas and Asuras. The Devas would always beat the Asuras. Humiliated Shukracharya, the guru of Asuras, went away to pray to Lord Shiva to obtain the Mrita Sanjivini Stotram, a mantra that would make the Asuras unbeatable. Meanwhile, he asked the demons to take refuge at the ashram of his father Maharshi Bhrigu and live as hermits while he was away. The demigods found the absence of Shukracharya to be the most opportune time to attack the Asuras. Asuras were living there as hermits and had abundant arms. Devas realized that it might not be possible to defeat the Asuras if Shukracharya manages to achieve the mantra of strength. Hence, led by Indra, the Devas decided to attack the Asuras. The Asuras went to Bhrigu's wife for shelter. Since sage Bhrigu was elsewhere, his wife decided to protect the Asuras, and using her powers, she solidified Indra, who became immovable statue. The Devas were shocked. The strange sight unnerved the Devas, and they took refuge at the feet of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu then asked Indra to enter his body so that Indra could be rescued. When Bhrigu's wife came to know about this, she warned both of them against it and told them if they did that, she would burn both of them to ashes. Indra pleaded Vishnu to stop her. To save Indra's life, Lord Vishnu cut off her head with his Sudarshana Chakra. When Bhrigu Maharshi came to know his wife had been slain by Vishnu, he cursed Lord Vishnu that he would have to suffer the pains of separation from his wife repeatedly. Lord Vishnu acknowledged the Rishi's anger and willingly accepted the curse of sage Bhrigu. Once he accepted sage Bhrigu's curse, Lord Vishnu had to ensure the words of Rishi were honored. But there was a problem. Lord Vishnu, who personifies Paramatma and has the supreme knowledge, knew that he and Lakshmi are the same. He knew the truth about the universe and is beyond any diversity. As long as he was Lord Vishnu, he would never experience the pain caused from bodily separation. So, how could the words of sage Bhrigu be honored? It can be honored only by being born as normal human beings and creating a destiny that would cause their separation. Hence, Vishnu and Lakshmi were born as Rama and Sita. As we already learnt that Rama was born as the son of Dasharatha and was married to Sita, who was the daughter of Janaka. King Janaka, the ruler of Mithila kingdom, had remained childless for several years. As per the customs of the kingdom, every year he inaugurated the plowing season by pulling the plow himself. It was customary to perform certain rituals to receive blessings of Bhudevi to get bountiful harvest. While Janaka was plowing the field, he found a little girl in a furrow. Since no one else knew from where the child came from, Janaka adopted the child and named her Sita. Sita means a child born out of a furrow. This baby was the manifestation of Lakshmi, born as the daughter of Bhumi Devi. There is one more interesting story here. As per the Padma Purana, when Sita was in her teens, she was cursed by the Shukha birds. Once, Sita saw a beautiful talking parrot couple who were talking about Sri Rama. She liked them very much and wanted to hear more about Rama and caught them. On her request, they told her they were from Valmiki's ashrama and have heard about Rama and Sita and narrated the story as written by Valmiki. After a while, the parrot's wife, who was pregnant, pleaded her to release her husband, but Sita, who was curious, wanted to know more. She did not release the parrot. The parrot's wife, who was angry and miserable, cursed Janaka's daughter. As you are separating me from my husband, in the same way you will be separated from your husband when pregnant. Saying this, she died full of distress. Seeing his wife die, the male parrot was angry, and he told Sita, I will be reborn, and I will be the reason for your separation from your husband. And the parrot died. The parrot was reborn as the dhobi or a washerman in his next life. Lord Vishnu and goddess Lakshmi took the destiny of Rama and Sita in ignorance of the divinity and experienced the pangs of separation to honor sage Bhrigu's curse. Sita had to be separated once when she was abducted and had to prove her purity by entering fire due to Bhrigu's curse. And second time she had to leave Ayodhya when she was pregnant due to the curse of the birds. Let us see what happened then. Due to the curse of the parrots, pregnant Sita had to be separated from her husband, and Lakshmana went with Mata Sita to Valmiki's ashrama. He left her there. Valmiki welcomed Mata Sita into his ashram. Valmiki was a great friend of Dasharatha and was a fatherly figure to both Rama and Sita. Sita wanted to spend some time in hermitage, and also she knew that Guru Valmiki would take care of her. After 9 months, Sita gave birth to 2 sons. She named them Lava and Kusha. Valmiki expected 1 child. As there were twins, he broke a sacred grass called Darba into 2 to protect them from evil spirits and threw it at them, and named the kid who got pointed part of grass as Kusha. Similarly, he named the kid who got the base part of the grass as Lava. They were educated and trained in military skills and other princely skills important for royal kids under the guidance of sage Valmiki. They also learnt the story of Ramayana in the song form called Gita Ramayana. This is the story of their parents. While Awadh flourished under the rule of Rama, he was constantly worried about the heir of the throne and his memories of Sita. Rama decided to conduct an Ashwamedha Yajna, a horse sacrifice yajna. The concept of this yajna was age-old. Lord Rama would do the initial puja and release a sacrificial horse, which would roam in the entire kingdom and the neighboring kingdoms. If the other kings did not fight the army following the horse, they were deemed to have accepted the rule of Rama and would be aligned to him. If any of them would not accept Rama as their emperor, they would have to fight and defeat the army. Preparations for Yajna was done and sacrificial horse was released. The Ashwamedha horse went past many countries. The kings of all those states paid tribute and accepted the rule of Rama. The horse was now returning to Ayodhya after winning several kingdoms. On the way, it entered Valmiki's hermitage. Seeing the lush green grass there, it rested on the flower bed. Lava saw the horse. He went near it and saw the golden plaque on its forehead. When he read the inscription, he became very angry. He thought, is Rama, the son of Kaushalya, the only hero? If I don't humble his pride, what is the use of my being the son of Sita? With the towel, which was his upper garment, he tied the horse to a tree. When Valmiki came to know about this, he asked the boys to release the horse and took them to Ayodhya. Lord Rama was committed to Sita from mind and soul. He did not forget her even for a single moment. He had made a statue of Sita in gold and lived believing she is with him all the time. He conversed with the statue and shared all his feelings with the statue. Same statue was placed beside him when he sat on the throne as well as when he sat for the yajna. Lava and Kusha along with Valmiki reached Ayodhya and they sang the story of Ramayana in front of Rama. Rama was impressed with the children's knowledge and Valmiki told Rama they are his children. Overjoyed Rama goes to meet their mother Sita along with them and asks Sita for forgiveness and requests her to join him. Sita replies, "My only wish was to see my sons safe with their father." She added, "I have now seen that happen. All that I now desire is to return to my mother, the earth." So saying, Sita folded her hands and called upon her mother to take her within her. She appealed, "O Mother Earth, if you think I have not committed any sin, please take me in your lap and give me a place." Suddenly the earth split into two. Seated on a beautiful throne, Mother Earth emerged from inside the earth. She took Sita in her lap and descended back into the earth. Lava Kusha cried for their mother to come back. There were tears in Rama's eyes as well, but Sita was gone forever. After Sita was gone, Sri Ram continued ruling Ayodhya for a long time. When his time of departure came, he also left the mortal world by dipping in the Sarayu river, transforming into his Vishnu Swarupa and joined Bhagavati Lakshmi in Vaikunta. Among his twin sons, the elder Kush took over the mantle and ruled Ayodhya. As he ruled the entire region of Kashmir, Indus River and Hindu Kush, frontier lands of India is known as Hindu Kush Kshetra. He also founded the city of Kashmir in the valley and Kasur. His brother Lava is traditionally believed to have founded Lavapuri, present-day city of Lahore. There were several kings who were born in this dynasty. Shuddhodana, the father of Gautama Buddha, was born in this dynasty. Since Buddha abdicated the throne, the lineage continued with his son Rahula. Last king of this dynasty was Sumitra. The Ikshwakus were a coveted line. In the 4th century BC, Emperor Mahapadmananda of the Nanda dynasty forced Sumitra to leave Ayodhya. He went to Rohtas with his sons. His son Kurma established his rule over Rohtas. After King Sumitra, the dynasty of Sun God or the Solar dynasty is said to have ended. Rama's greatness is not because he was an avatar of Vishnu, but because he took birth as a normal man who was destined to be a king. Rama is praiseworthy as a man because his stepmother deprived him his kingdom, but he never held any malice towards her. Rama the prince lost his father and got separated from his brothers and mother. Rama the karma yogi, to honor his father's words, abandoned his kingdom and went into exile. While in exile, Rama, the valiant warrior, overcame challenging difficulties and fought against the abductor of his wife without his traditional army. Rama, the righteous king, as per the commands of the destiny, had to banish his pregnant wife forever, earning a spot on his reputation and knowing fully well that he would be misunderstood for ages to come. Rama, the sorrowful husband, practiced brahmacharya after he was separated from his wife. Rama, the lonely king, missed the childhood of his sons and got deprived from the joys of fatherhood. Yet, Rama, the Jnana Yogi, discharged his duties as a king without showing his feelings or complaining about the pain or hardship. With full control over his senses, detached from material objects and always compassionate to others, Rama was an epitome of a perfect human being. Throughout his life, Rama put the needs of others above his own. He suffered like a normal man who was thrown in a tempest created by the destiny that was also chosen by him. The glory of Rama is that he was a god who manifested as a man to rescue his devotees and honored the words of a sage whom he respected. The glory of Rama is that he was a god who willingly suffered the pangs of separation throughout his life from his one true love, but never deviated from the path of dharma. That is why he is called Maryada Purushottama. Bolo Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you for watching. We have used materials and pictures from various sites to create this video. We give credit to the creators and sincerely thank the sources of all the pictures and materials used here.